The historic 100th running of the Pikes Peak International Hill Climb is in the books and was definitely one for the books. Layne Schranz's 3-decade-long Pikes Peak career now complete in the race to the clouds. That was more of a race in the clouds. As race teams arrived on the mountain before sunrise, America's mountain was socked in with fog and light rain. It snowed through the night above timberline all the way to the summit, so drivers knew this race would not see any personal or course records, but desperately hoped that the race would not be shortened like last year. The hard-working Pikes Peak Highway road crews worked through the night plowing snow off the top half of the mountain, which made all the difference. The race officials told the drivers that they would go ahead and attempt to race to the summit even with a wet road and dense fog coming and going on different parts of the mountain. By the time Layne would start the race, there were several miles of the course that were dry, so he and the Mayhem racing team decided to take a risk and chose to run slicks rather than rain tires like his competitors. Race officials graciously offered for Layne's father, Randy, a Pikes Peak legend and 40-time competitor, to wave the green flag and send Layne off to the summit on a wet, fog-covered road. The first few miles were slippery and foggy, but the slicks were working well enough to keep speed up. Once the fog cleared and the road dried, Layne was able to go much faster than his competition, who were on rain tires, placing him first at the halfway point. The gamble seemed to be paying off until conditions turned for the worse. The treacherous wet W's were extremely slippery, as you can see. The car nearly get away from Layne in a few places. At the 3/4 point of the race, Layne was just 2 seconds behind first place, but the challenge went from one of tire traction to a cold, slippery road to one of sheer visibility. Fog was so thick at times, Layne strained to just see where the edge of the road was. Finishing his final race became the priority, so speed slowed to what he felt was a crawl, costing valuable seconds. In these tense moments, drivers all know making it to the summit is a victory regardless of your elapsed time and finishing place. Layne was so thrilled and relieved when he crossed the finish line. He ended up P5, just 6 seconds behind P2. Upon climbing out of the Mayhem Chevy, Layne celebrated not just finishing his most challenging race, but his career on Pikes Peak. On the race broadcast, Layne thanked his Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, his family and race team, the race officials for allowing the race to go to the summit, all of his sponsors, Rich Froning and Mayhem Nation, Huberger Motors, Valvoline, Fixie Wheels, and Brakes Plus. Layne also thanked his competitors, past and present. He said, "My heart is full and I'm completely satisfied that I will not be returning to race." His dad's first race, which ironically also started in fog, was the 50th running of the race in 1972, and now Layne's last on the 100th. What a family legacy in the Pikes Peak International Hill Climb.